Alrighty, so the news is finally here, and this is the big one. The JP patch notes were pretty lengthy, so I just want to give you a heads up. I'm going to be reading pretty much the entire thing, so I know it might end up being a little bit long, but basic gist of it is new Meliodas coming out. Very good New Year's banner. So either way, if you're new to the channel or anything like that, feel free to subscribe. We're going to be doing live summons whenever the banner actually goes live tomorrow night. So if you'd like to hang out and everything and, you know, watch live summons, that'd be cool. I don't know, stop by, do whatever you want to do. We'll probably test the character out as well. But anyways, let's hop into this thing. So I think this is a little bit of an early maintenance. It's not too crazy. This is a 3-hour maintenance. So this is around 11 p.m. that it goes live for me, so it's it's pretty much normal time. It's not anything super crazy there, but let's look at this whole thing. So obviously we do have this new Meliodas, Purgatory Meliodas, Cursed Shackles, Purgatory Meliodas. He has Trillion Dark, which is a really cool signature move, which I'm a big fan of. I'm more of a Melee fan than I am an Escanor fan, so this one's a little bit more hype for me personally than the last one, but the new Escanor is really cool. So yeah, let's do this thing. So obviously we're getting a new banner. They don't ever show the details for banners in the global patch notes, but I'll have a should you summon and everything like that coming out in the morning, where we'll go over the banner, show you what's in it and everything. But yeah, I'm sure you've probably seen it by now because JP's had the content for a week pretty much. But we're getting 25.5, so 25, like the second half of Chapter 25 for the main story added. So this one's actually pretty cool because you get to fight Demon King Meliodas, which is pretty cool. Definitely looking forward to messing with that a little bit. And let's see here. New costume sets. So obviously we're getting the 3 new UR costume sets for the new Meliodas because he is a festival character. He gets all UR outfits, which is very interesting. We're also getting like a free manga sort of esque outfit for Melee that has like all 3 pieces in it. So that'll be a set that you can actually use on all Melees. I made a video on that earlier this week. So if you want to go check that out, you can. Festival Hero coins added to the exchange shop. So we have not only regular festival characters in here, but we have Holy War festival characters too. So you can actually exchange extra tokens for Berserk, Estarossa, who is really good, of course, because the new Melee is a demon, works well with demons, so the demon team is, you know, probably going to be a pretty popular option in the next coming weeks. We have Old School Cusack in here, which isn't anything crazy. Margaret's also in here, of course. If I'm not mistaken, I guess Estarossa's the newest character that we have. Obviously, Infinity Merlin's not in here, but she's still relatively new, so I wasn't expecting her to be. It is unfortunate that, you know, we have this new Light and Dark Festival, but the Light and Dark Festival characters can't be exchanged for tokens, which is unfortunate. So I don't know if they ever will. It doesn't look like they will at this point, but yeah. We are getting 2 new Holy Relics, one for Nanashi and one for Thonar. From my understanding, the Thonar one is very good, of course, because the dogs are really hard, and the Nanashi one is actually really good too. The only unfortunate circumstance here is that both of these relics use dog materials to be able to be made, which is very unfortunate. I can kind of understand Thonar needing dog materials because they want you to kind of, I guess, mess with the content first and then be able to make the relic for it, but she is a human, so you would think that it would be bird materials, I guess, but I would let that one slide. But Nanashi being on dog materials literally makes 0 sense because not only would he get classified as an unknown character, so you would use the deer materials for him as well, but he's not even actually an unknown character. He's actually a goddess character, if you're unaware. So if anything, it would have needed to be deer materials if they wanted to be like accurate, I guess. But even then, like, it really doesn't make any sense for him to be a dog, like dog mats kind of relic. The only reason I can assume is that they were like, huh, this relic's actually pretty good, so let's lock it behind the hardest content so that way it's not easy to get, which doesn't make any real sense to me. So very unfortunate, but they do both seem very good. There was a lot of weird, like whenever they announced it first on JP, the translations and everything were kind of, up in the air a little bit, but it is both increases allies' HP related stats by 10% up to 4 times, and fills allies' ultimate move gauge by 1 orb whenever the hero uses skills. in Skull and Hati Demonic Beast battle. So a lot of people were thinking that it was just going to be her who got the ultimate move gauge increase. So it's actually all of your allies, which makes it insanely, like, so much better. Because, you know, obviously there's a card set for the dogs as well, where if you get max, you know, ultimate move gauge, you can't be frozen, which is kind of a big mechanic in floors 2 and 3. So just being able to sort of get your ultimates a lot easier. And not only that, you know, your ultimates do a lot more damage and everything, so you can kind of rush those, deal a lot of big damage and everything before you get to level 3, or like when you get to stage 3 and everything is really, really nice. So really good relic. Kind of unfortunate you have to use the dog materials, but I don't know. And then Nanashi's is pretty cool as well. Increases unknown race allies basic stats by 30%, then increases defense related stats of allies with 2 or fewer skills at the start of the ally's turn by 20% for 1 turn. So the defense related stats buff plays a lot like his regular passive does, where you have to have a certain amount of cards or less in hand, which can be a little bit RNG based, but I honestly think that that's a really good way of, like, kind of balancing a unit. Like, you're not giving them all of the big buffs without having any sort of downsides or anything. I know that it kind of just makes him worse in general, because there are a lot of characters that get all upsides, no downsides kind of thing, which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't know. I don't really mind it. I just think that it's kind of weird that they made this guy an unknown race buffer, like backline kind of unit. Whereas, like I said, he's not actually an unknown character. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why they just like automatically grouped him in and classified him as an unknown support with this relic. But it is what it is. We obviously have the new constellation system sort of rework. So they're adding the Chaos of Constellations system, which is basically some new, like, stones and everything, where you can kind of like re-roll the stats of a constellation. It seems really confusing to me, so I'm not going to have the best understanding of this just yet. I'll probably have to mess with it a little bit more in game before I can really explain anything to you, but it says, from now on, players can change each constellation's mana stone stats using the newly added Chaos of Constellations system. Chaos of Constellations menu will be activated in the Constellation of Lust after completing Constellation of Sloth. Mana stone stats can be changed using Chaos Crystals and Chaos Fragments. After completing the Constellation of Gluttony, Constellation of Greed's Chaos Constellation will be activated. Mana stone's stats will be changed randomly. Chaos Constellations, 4 constellations following Constellation of Envy will be added in a future update. That's a lot of constellation words in a row. So I think that what they're saying is you don't even have to mess with this until you get to, like, until you've completed Sloth and move on to the one after that, which I'm not completely done with Sloth just yet, but with the changes that they're doing to this system, I'm pretty sure I'll end up getting pushed over the threshold to finish Sloth with this next update. So I might be able to mess around with it a little bit. We'll try to take a closer look at it and see what the actual deal with that is. I'm sure they have some more info here, though. So Constellation materials, we have Clock Tower of Chaos reward. So they are adding a new clock tower stage where you get these chaos fragments. I'm not exactly sure what the fragments do, but I know that these chaos crystals are what you use to actually re-roll the stats, and it looks like it's like a cooldown kind of thing, almost like the training dungeon keys. You're going to get these every Monday, it seems, so once a week, I guess. So I don't know, that's kind of interesting, I guess. Chaos constellations will be replenished every Monday at 0 a.m. UTC 7 for free, to be used for the new constellation of Chaos. Chaos constellations will not be replenished when they are capped at the time of the weekly reset. After clearing Chaos of Gluttony, or Constellation of Gluttony, the Chaos Crystal cap will be increased to 6. Okay. Chaos Crystals will be consumed first when changing Monostone stats. Additional Chaos Crystals will not be replenished when unlocking a new Chaos Constellation before the next reset. Instead, they will replenish at the next weekly reset. Stats changed due to the Chaos Constellation update will be reflected for defense teams after the Knighthood competition preparation period is over. Okay, so whatever all that means. New time limit dungeon added, so Clock Tower of Chaos, sorry, and this is where you're going to be getting those. I still don't really understand what these do specifically. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you use the actual Chaos Crystal to reroll the stat, but I don't know, maybe if you have 10 of these instead, you can use it over the other one, maybe, I guess. That's what it kind of looks like anyway. So a new time-limited dungeon has been added to the Fort Solgris Clock Tower of Chaos. You can acquire Chaos Fragments through the newly added Chaos Clock Tower. There's so much like Clock Tower, Chaos, like all these C words and everything. I'm getting them all mixed up. New Diamond Shop bundles, of course. So if you're buying tickets and everything for the new Meliodas bundle, or for the new Meliodas banner, we do have new bundles for that, of course. They are doing New Year's discounted bundles, so you can buy a 300 gem one and a 150 gem one. I would assume that these are probably the normal prices, where this one's like an $80 bundle, this one's like a $40 bundle. That's normally how they end up being anyway. New Year 2023 Festival bundle. So you get 5 diamonds immediately, and then every day for 7 days you get an SSR pendant and a key to Fort Solgris's like special rewards dungeon. So it's basically just a way to get a bunch more SSR pendants, which honestly, I guess depending on the price of this, could be decent. But I don't know. I guess it just depends on if you actually need SSR pendants more than anything else. There is this, which is a little bit controversial, it seems, and I can definitely understand why. But we have the New Year Festival 2023 Pole Power Up Draw. So basically what they've done here is there's a regular banner, and then there's a paid only banner that you can only summon on if you have these tickets. So it's basically a step up bundle where you have to buy each step, and you get 2 multis worth of summons out of it. I think the most compelling offer here is that you get 15 SSR pendants along with it, which is really nice, and a really good amount of AP pots actually, but I mean, that's not really like super crazy, I don't guess. You do get 1 multi's worth of diamonds out of it, but the thing is, this paid only banner has a 2% increased SSR chance rate. So instead of it being a 4% rate to pull an SSR like the regular banner would be, this one has a 6% SSR rate. So I don't know. I mean, that's not really that much better, if I'm being honest. Like, yeah, it's 2%, and that's really cool and all, but you have to pay for the tickets only. It's not even that big of an increase, and just having like a paid only banner itself is just kind of like setting a bad precedent, like not very good for the overall community, because you know a lot of people aren't even going to be able to take advantage of this. So kind of scummy in a way. I don't know, unless I really just need pendants or anything, I'm probably not even going to worry about this, because the odds aren't that much better, and paying real money for these just to get shafted on them would feel mega stupid. So I don't know if I can really recommend these. If you think that it's a good value just for the materials alone, then I would say by all means, I guess, go for it. But I don't know, the tickets itself, weird. I don't know, just not really digging the whole thing. We do have a lucky bag bundle because they're bringing that back. A couple of normal bundles here. You can get a fully maxed out set of UR, or well, I say UR, but I mean you can literally make it into UR with the materials here. But a fully maxed out HP defense set, which is really nice because it has maxed out base stats and everything like that, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm pretty sure this bundle was extremely expensive last time we had it. I think it was like $80 or something like that, at least for US prices, and that is just a lot of money for some stuff that you can kind of just grind out and just play the game with. I mean, I guess if you just want to take the shortcut, by all means, I guess, and if you have the money for it, but for stuff like this, I never really feel compelled to buy these, just because it's something that you can already do in game. It just takes a little bit more time instead of just paying for the end result, I guess. But I don't know. Do whatever you want to do. We're getting another costume enhanced material bundle, but this one is like doubled. Normally we would get 250 of each. So depending on the price of this one, I'm actually kind of interested, because it's normally like a $24 bundle or something. So as long as the price isn't doubling on this banner, on this bundle, which I assume it is, I wouldn't pay $80 for all of this. That's redundant, but I don't know. It takes a long time to farm out a lot of these materials, and there's a lot of characters that I would like to invest into, so I don't know. Potentially, I might buy that, but I kind of doubt it, honestly. Like, just even then, it's not really that compelling to me. A couple of other bundles for hammers and anvils here, and some regular, Awakening Stones, which is whatever. System updates. So we have item storage capacity increased. So starting item storage capacity increased from 130 to 135. So every player's current storage capacity will be increased by 5, which is cool. Item storage capacity will now be increased up to 525 slots using diamonds. So I'm pretty sure it was just at 500 at the moment. They're adding 25 extra slots that you can buy, which is cool if that's what you're into. I'm like one of the very few content creators that still has not a maxed out inventory, which is hilarious. I just don't see the point. I don't sit on that many materials as it is, so I don't know. Unless I just really start sitting on way more mats and they add a lot more stuff that I have to worry about holding on to in the inventory, I don't really see the point in spending on that. But hey, you know, extra inventory space is nice. So, I mean, I guess it has that going for it. But deathmatch simultaneous clear option added regularly. This is a huge deal because everybody was really upset last time at the end of the Liz Festival whenever they announced that this was going to be going away. And then once we got it back during the Escanor Festival, I think everybody had the big question, like, are they going to let us continue to do this? But Demonic Beast Belmoth and Original Demon simultaneous clears are now just a regular part of the game. You don't have to worry about only doing those during festivals anymore, which is very, very nice because this just makes it so much faster to get that, you know, the daily over with and just get your materials and move on with your day. Like, it's a big pain. So anything to make it easier, that's really, really nice. Constellation completion calculations. So constellation completion percentage will now be reflected, or will reflect the actual amount of growth points GP consumed. Current, it is the number of activated monostones changed to actual amount of GP consumed. So from what I can understand is that you're not going to have to actually activate these monostones anymore. It just takes into account, like, hey, this is how much GP you've accumulated overall, so here's where you're at, like, in the progress of the whole grand scheme of everything. So I assume that's what it is. I could be wrong on that, but that's what it sounds like to me. And it says, while constellation completion percentage may change, the amount of GP required to complete constellations will remain the same. So that's fine. Growth points gain increase as well. So the amount of GP increased for every hero gained has been changed. It used to be every time you pulled a new hero, you would get 20 GP for that. It's now going to be changed to 30. And then it says already acquired GP will be automatically calculated accordingly. So it's going to basically compensate you for all of the characters that you have in your box. You're going to get basically 10 extra per character. So that's great. That alone should push me over the point to where I needed to be. I was really close already to finishing the Constellation of Gluttony, so that alone I think will end up pushing me over the threshold to be done with Gluttony, so that's very cool. I guess. Account combat class buff changes. So account combat class buff will now be divided with the addition of attack and defense. Account combat class buff added. So it used to be only HP was getting increased depending on how much box CC you had. It used to only go up to 12 million as far as buffs goes, but now they have made it to where all the way up until the 12.5 million threshold here. Once you hit 13 million, you'll actually start to gain a little bit of attack, which is kind of annoying. The fact that it's locked so high up, that just means that big whales are going to hit even harder. If you know, I've messed around with a guy's 14 million box CC account, so he'll have 1.5% extra attack on all of his units at that point. So it just kind of puts him in a league of his own. Like, he's even further ahead of everybody at this point. You also are getting a defense boost from the very beginning now, so you're getting a 1% boost just at the very beginning here once you reach the 4.5 million threshold, and then all the way, up until 17 million, it'll eventually cap out at 8% for now until they add more. So who knows when that'll be. 17 million seems like a really long ways away, and it definitely is, because I would imagine just to be at 14 million at the moment, you have to have like a really maxed out account. So just one character coming out every 2 weeks is definitely, like, it would take a while to increase it by that much, but who knows. Maybe they'll end up leaving it at this being the highest, but I guess it really just depends on longevity of the game. And then the HP buff is, I think, still standard. Like, I don't think that they've changed that one at all. it's 14% at 10 million, which I'm pretty sure is the same as what I already have, because I hit 10 million not too long ago, and I'm pretty sure it was at 14%. So I don't think any of the HP buffs have changed, but they are adding attack and defense to it, which is a little bit nice. Everybody should at least, or well, I say everybody, but normal players should be getting at least a little bit of a defense boost, and then all of the hardcore players will end up getting an attack boost too, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. World Tree Tower Exchange Shop display improved. When purchasing artifact cards at the exchange shop, a mark for owned artifact cards has been added, so that's kind of nice. It was kind of confusing the first time that I bought the card, knowing that it was just there again in the shop, and I was like, do I need to buy this again? But that, I guess, won't have any issues with that anymore. Fort Solgris Gauge reward animation improved, so Fort Solgris reward animation has been optimized. I'm assuming they maybe just made it take less time, or just changed the way the effect happens, so that way it's a little bit faster, I would imagine. World Tree Tower location change button. So if you're on Memory of Earth, you can hit the right and you'll go to Memory of Heaven, or is it Alfheim? I can't remember. But you can basically swap back and forth at the top now with these little buttons, which is cool. So whatever. Next up, I feel like they've left out so much. Like there's so much less in the global patch notes for whatever reason. I'm assuming they'll probably end up doing extended patch notes whenever the game goes down for maintenance, but they'll do like an events one, and like one going over the banner and everything. But New Year 2023 festival stuff is going to be going on, of course. So we have a new check-in event. This actually gives us 300 diamonds worth of free diamonds. So make sure that you're logging in for the next month, because that's really, really good. There are special missions, of course, so you're going to be able to do special missions to get one free multi's worth of tickets for the Meliodas banner, and on top of that, once you finish all the missions, you get 10 diamonds, I think, for that, so that's really cool. They're doing a new spin event, which is fine, just a lot of free materials. Event boss parade, so they're bringing back Malik first, and he's going to have an exchange shop with some decent materials. I think that's where you actually get the manga sort of outfit for Meliodas at the moment, so you'll get that from him, and I think some of the clear rewards has the other pieces, but a couple of extra gems and stuff here, and I'm pretty sure in the actual photo that they had on the JP patch notes, they were going to bring back Baruja and Kimara as well, the big yellow guy. And Baruja's like the dog one, like the demonic dog looking guy. I can't remember exactly, but I think they're going to rotate out the boss every week or so. So I don't know exactly. There's only 3 bosses, but 4 weeks of an event, so I'm not sure how exactly they're going to work that out. But either way, there's an artifact wish event as well. So if you've missed out on any of the cards or like limited time cards that they give out throughout the year from different events and stuff, you'll be able to wish for those and get them a little bit easier. So that's really, really nice. Fort Solgris reward dungeon, of course. So make sure that you're doing that every day that you can, because it only costs 1 stamina and it's free rewards. And the first part of this, which is the first 2 weeks of the event, actually has a free gem in it. So you get 1 free diamond each day just by doing that. So definitely worth doing. Diamond perks event, so that means we're going to get recompensated, or we're going to get compensated by the amount of diamonds that we spend during this festival. I always call it a collaboration for whatever reason, but yeah, up to 900 gems. If you do a full rotation on Melee, you'll get all of the rewards from this diamond perks event, so that's cool. A really big one. I feel like just having this as text is really redundant. Like, why would you not want to show this off? But costume discount event is going to be going on, which is a really big one. I just put a video out on that earlier today on who I'm planning on powering up and everything, or just buying new outfits for. So that is going to be going on. All of the characters in the shop, except for the newest Escanor, so the one ultimate, and Infinity Merlin will not be on discount, but every other costume in the game will be discounted, and they're bringing back a lot of old like event sort of costumes as well that you can buy, or like seasonal costumes, I guess, not really like event costumes, but Lucky Raffle Drum. So this one is going to be like a diamonds sort of giveaway thing where you basically, I think you can do it once a day. I'm not positive. I wish they had an actual section for this so I could tell you exactly how it worked, but I'm pretty sure you can do it like once a day. You basically roll a little ball, and then the ball will give you a specific amount of rewards. I think the top prize is 1,000 diamonds, which is super, super cool. but obviously the odds of getting that are really low. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully this one doesn't get botted, because every other time that they've done this on global, the requirements to do it are always insanely low. So people just make new accounts and bot it, and it ends up all of the rewards get gone within like a couple of days. So that's really stupid. I think they made it to where you have to be account level 20 or higher at this point with this one, but I don't know if that's going to solve the problem or not. New King's Upgrade Exchange Materials event is going on. There's the artifact set for last year's New Year's card set is going to be returning, so you can get those cards if you don't have them already. Power up event, so all of the normal stuff like, you know, super and excellent success rates or whatever for like powering up characters and all of that cool stuff. I think you get like a free retry on main missions and stuff like that, and then the lucky bag event is going to be going on, so you can get rewards out of that. And then there's one new battle event that they didn't show us or anything, so a couple of bug fixes as well, which is nice. But yeah, I don't know, they've gotten really lazy with these patch notes, man. I'm telling you. So I don't know, I went over a little bit of the stuff here and there on the JP patch notes video, where we were talking about the new melee, of course, so if you want to go check that out, you can. But that's pretty much going to be it from me. So thank you guys so much for watching. It still ended up being kind of long, but yeah, feel free to subscribe and all that good stuff. I will see you guys for live summons, so subscribe.